Welcome back to TCG Bros. Today we're going to be going over a deck profile on Pendulum Magician. So it's not been very long since we just got the Master Pendulum structure decks that kind of are the basis for this, but there's a bunch of deck profiles for Pendulum Magician going around. They range from like having Luster and Ignister Prominence to pure Pendulum Magician, and this is like a Pendulum Magician Performage build. So there's a few that are kind of similar to it that have like topped events, but I kind of adapted my own playstyle to it because I really didn't like some of the combos that I was like not being able to perform. So I think that this version performs best so far out of any non-luster using Pendulum Magician deck. So let's go over the main deck first. So lots of triple magicians here. So 3 Wisdom Eye Magician. If you have another magician in your Pendulum Zone or Performapal, you can pop this and set another magician from your deck. So it just helps set your scales, and it's super good. Oafdragon Magician. I'm not the biggest fan of Oafdragon Magician. It's just another one to kind of add to the pool of magicians, though. But it's a level 6, so unless you play Naruto, I feel like it's okay, but it's mainly just used for its attack and just to be another magician. 3 Dragonpulse, your main scale of level 1. Super good card. Same with Dragonpit Magician, another really good card, and it's also like your main scale for the deck. But both of Dragonpulse and Dragonpit have really good like discard a Pendulum monster to destroy certain things. So they are both really good. So like I said, the only thing that I think I may change in the future before I go to an event with this is I'm probably going to drop Oafdragon down to 1 just because I'm not the biggest fan of it. So our 2 off magicians, we got 2 Xiangke. I bought these a long time ago. Just had a feeling they would work out well, and when you hit off a play, I know a lot of people play this at 1, but if you hit off an Odd-Eyes Rebellion play with that, you'll more than likely blow your opponent out because it's ungodly when you pull that off. The next 2 off magician, 2 Nobledragon. I really don't like that card for anything except for using it to go into a level 7 Synchro. That's about all that I find that useful for, and that's its main use. So that is all the magicians that we have in the main deck. Then we have triple Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon. This card, even if it's in the graveyard in this build, you can still like get it back from the graveyard, special summon it, and just blow out your opponent with so many rank 7 plays. They just like you just can't handle it if you get it going. 3 Skullcrobat Joker. It has a good normal summon effect. It's a good scale number as well. For me, honestly, it just mostly serves as fodder to rank 4 plays, but its normal summon effect is pretty good. So triple Plushfire. Most of the time, like if you open Plushfire and Wavering Eyes, most of the time what you'll end up doing is just like putting that up and then blowing it and special summoning Trick Clown or something to get your plays going, or something along those lines, where you can special summon Damage Juggler with it just to like get your searches out. So triple Damage Juggler, you hold it in hand, use as a discard for Pendulum Call or just for its regular effect to discard to stop yourself from taking damage. 1 Hat Tricker and 1 Trick Clown. I like this ratio, to be honest, just because, like I said, Damage Juggler, most of the time it's going to be discarded for Pendulum Call or discarded to save yourself from taking some damage. So that is, I believe, all the monsters for this. Like I said, I think this has probably easily become one of my favorite decks I have ever built. And the best thing about it is the main deck isn't even that expensive. I mean, so triple Wavering Eyes, this is kind of a basic thing we all know. 2 Sky Iris, This card is really good. I think it's actually kind of underrated, and most of the time when I'm playing, like, you have so many combos that sometimes, like, you forget a combo piece, and this is one of them, because if you're stuck with bad skills because you got messed up on a play by your opponent or something, you can just hit Sky Iris, pop it, send it to the extra deck face up, and then, like, search out an Odd Eyes. Or if you pop something else and you need like another level 7 to make a rank 7 play, you can just pop something on your side, get Odd Eyes, and probably go off. 1 Terraforming to help you get those out. 3 Pendulum Call. You really have to be careful how you play Pendulum Call and Wavering Eyes, because these 2 cards do not mix. You can't Pendulum Call 2 monsters and then immediately Wavering Eyes them. But it's also really good in the same aspect that during the first opponent's turn after you activate this, they also can't destroy your stuff by Wavering Eyes, because this is still active in the graveyard until the end of your opponent's following turn after you end while using this. 1 more spell. 1 Instant Fusion. Why 1 Instant Fusion? Because I don't want to draw into it too early, and at the ratio of 1, the odds are I'm going to have a good array of rank 4 or level 4s in the graveyard. So when I do hit this, I just get basically overkill, assuming I even need it. And it gives you like an easy option to like side this out. So 2 traps, 2 Grand Horn of Heaven. Now most people, they're like, you would think, why main Grand Horn of Heaven versus sided in? And that's a very good question, but my thinking behind maining 2 Grand Horn of Heaven is that most of the time, if you flip that on your opponent's first summon of the main phase, they'll skip their battle phase, and next turn you'll basically just blow them out. Because if you negate the first summon, they have to opt to end the main phase or enter the end phase. So most of the time they'll skip the battle phase and go to main phase 2, and then they can set up, but they can't damage you. So altogether, this deck is 42 cards, so if you feel like 1 or 2 cards are not like the best choice, like my personal recommendation would probably be, like, if you wanted to put it to 40 exactly, to drop Instant Fusion and I would probably just drop 2 Oafdragon, leave Instant, and then have these 2 in, because like I said, a lot of people, people are expecting to see this now because it's so good in competition, but that card, if you play it right, you basically just force your opponent to forfeit the game to you the next turn, assuming you have some good plays. So, rank 7s, we got our ultimate rare, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. That card, if you summon this against somebody who makes a lot of plays, they'll burn themselves out, and it's insane. 1 Big Eye. That card wins games that you just have no business winning. It's insanely good in this deck. If you just use this to steal level 7s and that kind of thing, it's ungodly the things you can do. 1 Dracossack. I wasn't playing this at first, but you really need Dracossack because it gives you an out to some back row that otherwise you sometimes don't have an out to. And if there's just cards you can't get around, sometimes you really need Dracossack to get around it. Like, it's not going to help you get around a Vanities or anything, obviously, but your Pendulum Scales for Dragonpulse and Pit can do that on their own. So, this just gives you an out to weird stuff that you really can't get around any other way. Continuing on to the rank 7s. 2 Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. This card, it is busted with Odd Eyes. It's insane, because you can use it just to build your own board of heavier level 7s. Like, you can just negate your own attacks, but being able to negate your opponent's attacks, then special summon an Odd Eyes from the grave, and then you just overlay again and again and again. And when you start the initial loop with this, if you play smart, you're more than likely going to win the game, unless you get like Regeki or something, because you can just negate their attacks, special summon more Odd Eyes from the grave, even if you detach it from this, and then when this is destroyed, you get to special summon a free Odd Eyes Meteorburst Synchro Dragon, and then it's just it just rolls on from there. It's crazy. 1 number 101, sometimes I synchro some of that just to like sit on, or synchro. Sometimes I overlay for this just to sit on it and buy myself time. Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon promotes OTK. Castel, another thing for those weird things you really just can't get around. Abyss Dweller, that's for mainly Infernoids and Cosmo, that kind of stuff. Trapeze Magician, not the biggest fan of Trapeze Magician, but it promotes the OTK, so I'm going to leave it in probably for my competition that's in early January. And then 2 synchros, Clear Wing and Odd Eyes Meteorburst Dragon. Most of the time, you'll get into Odd Eyes Meteorburst Dragon without actually synchro summoning it, because you'll put down one of these, let it get destroyed, pop that out, and then just proceed to just destroy your opponent. And then we have 1 Elder Entity Norden here for your instant fusion. And this is going to sound kind of insane in one way, but there have been actual times I've been playing this deck and I've thought to myself, I almost want to side in Black Rose. And you're probably thinking, why on earth would anyone playing a Pendulum deck want to put in a Black Rose? And the thing about it is if your opponent gets too many cards on board, I'd honestly, at some points, rather search out some stuff and then just blow my entire board and just leave everything else. Like, if you don't overlay for anything, it's all going face up to the extra anyway. So, and if you have certain cards on the field, they can't, like, your scales can't be targeted anyway. So, I think as one of my, like, lunatic attacks in the competition I'm going to is going to be actually to put in a Black Rose and just kind of see how it goes, because when you're facing another player that has like a huge board, I'd rather just blow my whole board after a Pendulum Call or something and then just like proceed to kill them anyway by setting the scales and just getting everything right back after devastating the board. So just something to think about. Anyway, I've tested like a bazillion different cards in this deck, everything from like Wabaku to to everything. It's all been tested. So if you have any thoughts, questions, anything like that, leave them in the comments below. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys soon in another video. And also, as a side note, if you are wondering why there's only 13 extract cards here, that's because I forgot to mention that I'm waiting on 2 Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragons in the mail. That's one of your biggest combo pieces, so don't forget Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon, like I said. Sorry about that. Anyway, see you guys later in another video.